What is up, fam? It's Sandworld with a challenge. So me and Multiplier decided to do a challenge, and that challenge was I record a sample and we both use that sample to make a track or make something. So he decided to do a trap experimentalist thing, so make sure to check it out on his channel. And I decided to go with something a little bit more beautiful, because an ass slap is like one of the naughtiest, dirtiest things you could possibly do. It can go both ways. It can either be the girl likes it or the girl hates it and you just raped her. So she can cry rape and you get sexual harassment, which is what happened with me. But that's another story in entirety. I'll probably make a video about it. Who knows? But the ass slap is this one. This is the sample that I gave to Multiplier. And as you guys can hear, I had good form on that ass slap. I made sure to go 9 o'clock, swing all the way through and slap the ass. Make sure it jiggled. But also when you slap it, you kind of want to go like, kind of like slap and then boom, ba, boom, slap that ass. So I decided to make something beautiful with this, which is very ironic because it's an ass slap. So this is what I made, and we'll talk a little bit about it right now. So there's about 5 sounds I made for this little breakdown, I guess. It sounds very 80s because of the reverbs that I'm using. Now, let's talk a little bit about how I made these. The first sound is going to be obviously a pluck. Now, my technique in making and doing this challenge was mainly using the sampler a lot and looping the ass slap really hard. Sorry, looping it really fast so it doesn't have a chance to, you know, kind of stop. So let me show you what I mean. So if I were to move this, if I were to open this more like this and play it, it's not gonna sound the same. So what I do is this, check it out. So you loop it so fast that you're gonna get something like sort of like a wavetable, like kind of like a fucking square saw kind of format. So it's gonna be a wavetable in itself, which you can probably sample and put in Sturm as well. That was another way you could have taken this, or we could have taken it. Now after that, what I did is in the pitch oscillator section, there's this thing called spread here, and this is gonna make it so that it sounds like it got detuned in a way, and it just makes it sound a lot more wider. Now the sound itself, with the filter open up all the way, sounds like this. It's a very, very cool sound, but I decided to go all the way down. Let me get that. Now a filter envelope is applied to that to open it from here with a little bit of attack to give it that kind of not so punchy feeling, but more of a mystical kind of floating in the air motherfucker shit feeling. So after that, we made a pad for this, and the pad is going to be pretty much again the ass slap sample looped at a very fast rate, but at a different section of it, because the cool thing is about audio files is that every little section you can loop it really fast. Is going to give you a different feeling. So this one was a little bit harder to do, but it worked. It's very similar to the other one, but it's more of a guitar kind of sound. Oh no, this is the Reese one, my bad. This is going to be the Reese bass, so I decided to make that. Now that one was fairly simple. Again, same looping technique. Filter, we had it the cutoff here, and there's an LFO routed to this to make it sound like a Reese, you know, wobble wobble wobble, and it adds movement to it, which sounds really, really good. And this is going to be the bottom part, the bass part of the song. Now here I added a shaper, and the shaper is made so that the shaper hits the sound first and then it gets filtered. But if I were to click this, then it would get it will get distorted after it comes out of the filter, and this is what I got from it. So I did it before, so I get a more cleaner sound, as you guys can see. So that's with that one, and then just an LFO which I turned on over here, and it gives it that kind of wobbly feel. Very, very simple stuff again, but a lot of people overcomplicate it. Now this one is the bad one. It took me a while to make it. Now this one, again, same technique of looping, but this one is a little bit different. Again, you know, the filter's all the way down. There's an envelope to it, and then there's some release to it. Now, the whole feeling of it sounding very mystical, it sounds like it has a lot of release, is caused by the Stadium Reverb preset that I used from the reverb section in Ableton. It also has an LFO to kind of give it that movement feeling. It has an OTT after the reverb, because if you put the OTT before the reverb, you're not going to get that reverb fucking sound floating in the air. Like, watch, check it out. Put the reverb over here instead. Now we put it over here. It sounds more in your face, which is what I wanted. And then here's just an EQA to kind of filter it in. Okay. Now, the next sound, it's going to be a weird sound. I don't think it fit well with the whole aspect of it, but I like the sound itself so much that I decided to leave it. Now, the sound sounds like this. Sounds very 80s rock guitars. So pretty much, again, looping technique. The looping technique works wonders, especially when you have a sample that is so little. It helps a lot to just get it out of the ass slap. This one has an envelope, pitch envelope brought it to it so that it kind of has like this effect. Watch. So it gives it that effect, but I have it so very little, it's kind of like a little extra to it. Okay. Now in the filter, just made it into a pluck, very simple filter envelopes and all that. Now chorus is added to give it that effect. This is what the chorus does. It's gonna give it that more guitar effect, and it's very useful for whenever you're trying to make sounds that kind of sound like a choir in a way, which is what I made initially, but I changed it to this. The OTT again works wonders, gets that sound to pop out. S1 imager to make it wide, a reverb, and an EQA just to do it. And then finally, the last sound is going to be this experimental sound that I thought would be a cool atmospheric. So it's a very cool sound. As you guys can see, it's more like of a movie sound design sound. Now this one, I didn't use the looping technique like that. I used it. I know the ass slapple is going to be very rough, so I drowned this in reverb to get that initial clap transient bam out of the picture. So as you can see, it passes, but you don't really hear it slapping hard because of the reverb. And then it has a ping pong delay and an OTT to make these two, the ping pong and the reverb, pop out more. In the pitch here section, we just have FM synthesis, which you can do through the sampler, which is cool because you can get a voice and just FM synthesize the voice as well. We use the SAW 64. This is a wavetable we use for the FM synthesis. And the way FM works is frequency modulation. The wavetable, aka the SAW or whatever, you're going to feed it into whatever this is. And generally speaking, the most simplest terms to put it is that it's going to increase or decrease the speed of the sample, and that's going to give you that kind of FM feeling to it. So we added that because it's very experimental. Filter that is getting opened by an LFO, so it happens now and then. And that's going to be it for that. Anyways, guys, if you guys want to try this stuff out, make sure to check down in the links below. I'm going to leave a sippyshare.com link. Also, Cymatics just released $1 wavetable, so if you also want to check that out, make sure to check it out. It's fairly inexpensive. Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time. Go make sure to check out Multiplier's channel.